Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts either through their industry insights and information or simply learning from them. And today we have Supreme Court Senior Advocate Vivek Sood, sir, the man who coined the expression fundamental right to internet. And today we'll talk to him on the Uniform Civil Code and understand the legal angle from him. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. It's always wonderful to be here on this platform.
Thank you, sir. So let me start by asking this one straight way itself, sir. What exactly is the meaning of Uniform Civil Code? UCC, what exactly is UCC?
The Uniform Civil Code is a concept, it is an idea, and that idea is that secular and civil activities must be segregated from religion. We live in a secular society. India is a secular nation. So secularism is a part of the basic structure of the Constitution of India. While we enjoy the right to freedom of religion under the Constitution of India, as per the idea or the concept of Uniform Civil Code, secular activities and the civil activities should be segregated from religion. Now, I will give you an example to explain the meaning of the Uniform Civil Code. Let's take the laws of succession in India. You have the Mayukha school of thought. You have in some states like Bengal and Assam, you have the Dayabhaga school of thought. In the north, you have the Mitakshara school of thought. So the inheritance and succession with respect to property that comes from the ancestors, it is divided in accordance with these traditional schools of thoughts. So there are multiple schools of thoughts that exist in India. Now, as per the concept of Uniform Civil Code, we should have one law of inheritance. Why should there be multiple complex religious laws of inheritance? Another example I can give you is triple talaq in the Muslim religion. So why should divorce be governed by personal laws of different religions and communities? Article 44 of the Constitution of India says that the state shall endeavor to bring in a uniform civil code. So secular activities like inheritance, matrimonial laws, education, why should religion enter these secular activities? So therefore, the concept of uniform civil code it emanates from the Constitution of India. And broadly, it is this classification between religious activities and the secular activities which should apply consistently to every citizen of India, irrespective of the caste, creed, and religion. That is my understanding in most simple terms of the concept of the Uniform Civil Code.
So, sir, if Article 44 of the Constitution talks about the state to make endeavor in this direction, then how has it got interpreted as something controversial sort of a or touchy subject, uh, and many people look at it differently whenever there is a talk of this particular term comes in. Now again, some reference is being made on in political circles and in the media, in the social media, and I'm sure the whole reason for discussing this was get a legal angle for the understanding of common people, for general people, so that they are more aware about what exactly this term is, and they can make their own informed understanding about all the debates and discussions that are taking place in different forums, or that will continue to take place on different forums. Even in Rajya Sabha, this particular issue has come up now. So when I said that it got came a touchy subject, so does actually the UCC or the Uniform Civil Code infringe on the freedom of religion? Because that's the touchy part in it.
Now, that has been a long standing argument that the Uniform Civil Code has the effect of interfering or infringing the right to religion guaranteed as a fundamental right under Article 25 of the Constitution. Now, in my view, this argument is totally misconceived because if you read Article 25, Clause 2, it says that the state is empowered to regulate the economic, social, and secular activities associated with religious practices. So, Article 25 guarantees the freedom of religion, the right to religion, but it segregates secular activities. It gives the power to the state to regulate the secular activities from the religious practices. So the concept of uniform civil code is part of Article 25. It does not militate or it does not infringe the right to religion. It only says, let there be a line, let there be a Lakshman Rekha
Okay.
between religion, religious practices, and civil society, civil activities, secular activities like matrimonial laws, divorce, education, inheritance and succession. Why should religion interfere in these secular activities? So, in my view, this has been a long standing argument, and the argument is totally misconceived that there is some kind of an interference in the right to religion by the Uniform Civil Code.
How does this impression has come in that trade in some way on certain sections of the society and could be anti-minority? Is it, if you're looking at purely from a legal angle, sir, that is Uniform Civil Code anti-minorities in any manner as per your understanding?
Let me answer this question differently. I recall having read the Constituent Assembly debates where, Mr. K.M. Munshi, he spoke about the Uniform Civil Code. When Article 44 was to be engrafted into the Constitution, there was a debate. And in that debate, he said that there is a perception that the Uniform Civil Code is anti minorities. But then to allay that apprehension and to clear the air, he gave some examples. He gave examples of advanced Muslim countries like Turkey and Egypt. Now we go back way back in 1948, 1949, when the constitution was being drafted. And he said, even in the advanced Muslim countries, then, for example, Turkey and Egypt, there is a concept of a uniform civil code. Different minority groups cannot claim that their religious practices are so sacrosanct that they will enter civil life, the secular life, the day-to-day life. So let me not talk only about, the Muslim religion. Let me talk about the Hindu religion. Even in our Hindu religion, there are so many sects. There are so many smaller communities. There are so many schools of thoughts. I just gave you the example of Mayukha, Dayabhaga, Mitakshara schools of thoughts. Now, why should there be so many personal laws? And these are all complex personal laws. They create more confusion than clarity. So let there be a uniform civil code governing these areas such as education, inheritance and succession, matrimonial laws. Ajay, I must share this with you.
Right.
I went to the law school between 1989 and 1992. So I've been in the profession for 3 decades. Believe me, the subject of inheritance and succession, that is family law, was the toughest subject we had, in those times. Because to arrive at these shares under the Dayabhaga school of thought or the Vitakshara school of thought is a very, very complex exercise.
Right.
So there should be a uniform civil code. Now, in my view, therefore, it is a misconceived argument that the uniform civil code, it is anti-minorities. In my view, it will impact every citizen, every community, every religion, be it Hindus, be it Muslims, be it Parsis, be it Christians. So it is not an anti-minority concept at all.
Okay. Okay, sir. So this issue has been going on for quite some time. It has been part of the political discussions, also social discourse. Will keep on coming up with this particular term again and again, often. So now again, it is in currency now. If at all things are moving forward or will move forward towards this direction, but from your understanding, sir, of the social situation at the moment, are the people of India ready for uniform civil code at the moment?
In my view, the time has come to introduce the Uniform Civil Code in India. We are a modern nation on the move. We are a developed India today. This is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's India. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas India. So therefore, keeping in view that we are a modern country, we are a developed economy, and the citizens have matured over the last several years now. Therefore, the time for the Uniform Civil Code has definitely arrived in India. You know, we are not the radical India or the excessively, excessively obsessed India with religion. Our citizens are doing well. Let's see the unicorns, the startups. We are a growing industrial nation. We are likely to become a superpower. We are extremely democratic as a country. We have constitutional fundamental rights. We have an independent judiciary. We have a vibrant press. We all enjoy the freedom of speech and expression to the maximum. So we are modern citizens. Today's citizens in the villages are also aware of their rights. They're aware of what's happening. They want to be a part of the Indian economy. They want to have a good life. They all want to prosper. So, since in view of this vibrant new India, in my view, the time for this idea has arrived. And the government should bring in the Uniform Civil Code in India.
Do you see any challenges towards implementation of uniform civil code?
Yes, I do see a lot of challenges in bringing the Uniform Civil Code to India. I think we need to spread the awareness about the benefits of the Uniform Civil Code. We need to clear the air, surrounding the concept of Uniform Civil Code. In other words, this radical thought processes that crop up from time to time. It is anti-religion. It is anti-Muslims. It is anti-minorities. So with awareness and education, the Uniform Civil Code should be brought into play. It should be promulgated. So I definitely see challenges ahead, but the challenges are not something which cannot be, which cannot be resolved. I think with the spread of awareness, these challenges can be confronted and the Uniform Civil Code can be brought into play. Now, Ajay, I must give you two examples.
Right.
Triple talaq was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court a few years back. Now, it has been accepted happily by the Indian society, by the civil society. Recently, the Karnataka High Court has constitutionally upheld the ban of hijab in some of these pre-university colleges. Now, the decision is being debated and broadly it is being welcomed. The other day, Ajay, I was hearing an interview where Mr. Arif Muhammad Khan, one of the leading Muslim leaders and now governor of Kerala, he openly spoke about the benefits of banning hijab and its positive impact on Muslim girls. you know so therefore rejecting hijab and declaring triple talaq as unconstitutional, these are steps towards the Uniform Civil Code. It's only that the judiciary has upheld it. So these are so removal of hijab from education, declaring triple talaq as unconstitutional, these are two important facets of the Uniform Civil Code, which have already come into play in the Indian society.
So how do you see it coming from a legal point of view? How do you see the legal validity, if at all it gets challenged? There are lots of ifs and buts. If it gets passed, or even an ordinance is possible, is an ordinance possible in this case? Or if it becomes a law, then can it withstand judicial scrutiny?
In my view, such a law should not come in the form of an ordinance. It should come through the parliament, both the houses, and there should be a debate before this law is promulgated. Now, keeping in view, the society, keeping in view diversity, keeping in view that we have lived with personal laws for centuries together, for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. One view that comes to my mind is that the government should bring in the Uniform Civil Code in installments, slowly and steadily, in parts. It should not come as a bombshell, so that it is assimilated and welcomed by the Indian society. And to cite an example, I would advise the policymakers, you know, rather than bringing in a uniform civil code affecting the minorities or other religions, let's start with Hinduism. Let's start with the Hindu laws of succession.
Yes.
I think as a first step, the reform and amendments should be brought into the Hindu laws of inheritance and succession. Make them consistent, make them uniform. Please do away with the Daya Bhaga, Mayukha, and the Mitakshara schools of thoughts, so that even if there are any misconceptions amongst the minorities or the other religions, that can be allayed. A message will go that the Uniform Civil Code is for one and all. It is not discriminatory. It is not being targeted only towards minorities and other religions. So we start from reforming the Hindu laws of inheritance and succession to start with. So these are some of the ideas which come to my mind rather than dropping a bomb and creating a huge controversy. They should be brought into play as a work in progress in a piecemeal manner. Now, Ajay, you asked me a very interesting question as to the constitutional challenges. Constitutional challenges will come. See, we are a democratic country. We have an independent judiciary. We have the power of judicial review, which itself is a fundamental right. Any citizen can file a writ directly to the Supreme Court challenging any law. Challenges will happen. But the Uniform Civil Code emanates from the Constitution of India. It is embedded in Article 25, Subclause 2, Clause 2. It is stated clearly in Article 44. And Ajay, the Supreme Court has time and again said that the Uniform Civil Code should be contemplated by the Parliament and should be brought into existence in India. Challenges will always be there, you know, but the Supreme Court, I'm sure, will welcome the implementation of the Uniform Civil Code.
Right, sir. Right. It was wonderful talking and getting your perspective in on this. You can say simple issue also and a vexed issue also. Whatever way, it all depends on how one looks at it. But you have clarified and uh, cleared a lot of air in on several aspects of this particular issue. On this note, sir, it's a wrap on this edition of the KAJ Masterclass.
Thank you, Ajay. And the questions were very interesting. And therefore, it was a very interesting chat as always on this platform. Thank you.